Let's be real. If you manage a team, you know it can feel like you're trying to win a championship every single day. So today, we are cracking open the manager's playbook to show you exactly how to build and coach a team that is absolutely destined to win.
So what's the big secret? Is it really just about hiring the most talented people? The ones with the perfect resume? Well, the source material we're looking at today suggests a different angle, and it uses a really powerful analogy: sports. See, it's not always the star player that makes the team great. In business, your employees are your athletes, and you're the coach. You're all aiming for the same goal, facing the same competition, and you've got to work together to get that win.
In this explainer, we're going to break down 4 key plays from that playbook. We'll kick things off with the coachability factor. That's all about hiring. Then we'll get into tackling team negativity. From there, we'll give you a solid framework for dealing with conflict. And finally, we'll wrap it all up into your very own manager's playbook.
All right, let's start at the very beginning. Building your team. This is all about finding the right players. And that means you've got to look beyond just raw talent or the skills somebody lists on a piece of paper.
And this difference right here, it's absolutely critical. Raw skill is what someone can do for you right now. It's kind of like a fixed asset. But coachability? Oh, that's a multiplier. That's all about the potential for growth. Think of it like this. A skilled employee, yeah, they score goals. But a coachable employee, they elevate the entire team's game. They build a group that can innovate, adapt, and handle whatever you throw at them.
So what exactly is coachability? Well, it's this really powerful mix of humility and drive. It's someone being open to hearing what they're doing wrong, someone who actively wants to learn new things, and ultimately, someone who channels all of that into making the team better. It is the absolute foundation of growth.
So, how in the world do you spot coachability during an interview? Well, the source material points to these 4 key traits, but let's zero in on 2 of the most revealing ones: how a candidate deals with feedback and how they handle adversity.
First up, let's talk about feedback. An employee who can't take constructive criticism is an employee who just can't grow. It's really that simple. You're looking for the people who see feedback not as some personal attack, but as what it is, an essential tool for them to get better.
So how do you figure out if they're open to it? You ask them directly with a question just like this. And trust me, their answer will tell you everything you need to know. Do they get defensive? Do they start blaming other people? Or do they talk about what they learned and how they actually change their approach? That's what you're listening for.
Okay, next up, adversity. Because let's face it, every project hits a roadblock. Every market has stiff competition. You don't want players on your team who just crumble under pressure. You want the ones who see a challenge and actually get energized by it. Resilience is a huge part of being coachable.
And this is the question that's going to unlock that insight. You're not just looking for a simple success story here. Pay very close attention to that second part. What did you learn? A truly coachable person reflects on their failures and their struggles. They pull a lesson out of it that makes them and your team stronger for next time.
Okay, so you've hired a fantastic, coachable team. Your job's done, right? Nope, not even close. Now you have to maintain that positive dynamic. And that means tackling one of the most toxic forces in any workplace: the chronic complainer.
This quote from the source really just nails the urgency here. Negativity isn't just some small annoyance. It's contagious, it spreads like wildfire, it can absolutely poison morale, kill productivity, and just completely undermine the great team you've worked so hard to build. You have to address it, and you have to do it fast. So what's the play? The source suggests a brilliant technique called flash feedback. Now, this is not a formal, scary performance review. It's a quick, direct, private conversation meant to nip that negative behavior in the bud right when it happens.
And the process is so simple but so powerful. Step 1, you observe. You get really specific about the behavior and the impact it's having. Step 2, you redirect. You're super clear about what you need them to do differently. And then, crucially, step 3, you agree. You ask for their input to make them part of the solution, not just the problem.
All right, from general negativity, we're now going to escalate to direct conflict between team members. I know it's uncomfortable, but as the manager, your role as a mediator is totally non-negotiable. Just ignoring it is not an option.
It's so tempting to just hope these things will sort themselves out, but they almost never do. They just fester. A proactive manager steps in, not to take sides, but to guide everyone toward a resolution using a clear, structured framework. And here is that framework.
First, you're going to act like a detective and diagnose the real issue. Second, you become a moderator to help them find some common ground. Third, you're communication coach. You model what active listening looks like. And finally, you act like a leader by encouraging forgiveness. This turns what could be a destructive mess into a constructive moment.
Whew, we've covered a lot of ground, from hiring the right people to managing the challenges that will inevitably pop up. Now, let's pull it all together into a simple, actionable playbook that you can start using, like today. Here it is. This is your cheat sheet. When you're facing a tough hiring decision, remember to screen for coachability. When you start to hear that negativity creeping in, deploy flash feedback right away. And when disputes flare up, pull out your 4-step conflict resolution framework. 3 common challenges, 3 proven solutions. Simple as that. The biggest takeaway here is this. Great management is not about getting lucky. You don't just stumble upon a perfect team. Great teams are built. They are the result of intentional coaching, having those difficult conversations, and a daily commitment to growth.
So, at the end of the day, this playbook is just a set of tools. The real work, well, that starts with you. You have the framework, you have the strategies. The only question left is, are you ready to step onto the field and start coaching your team to victory?